Hi everybody. The topic for today's video is caring for elderly parents, how to gain control of a chaotic life. Caregivers have been asking me what skills I use in my daily life to manage everything that I have going on, and especially how did I do this when I was a full-time care manager. So here's the thing. Some things that you already know, right? Caregivers are busy, busy people. Many accept too many responsibilities. Who might that be? They feel guilty if they say no. They want to feel appreciated for their efforts, and they navigate complicated family relationships where, believe it or not, everybody always doesn't get along. Plus, caregivers overschedule their life. How do I know this? Well, I was in your shoes. I was a family caregiver. I still am a family caregiver who worked full-time. When I was younger, I worked full-time. I went to college during my evenings and weekends, and I was a caregiver. Over the years, I was also a care manager and a supervisor for staff who cared for the disabled and the elderly. So I had to teach them caregiving skills. And add to this just 25 years of really a crazy life being on call 24/7, much like many of you caregivers are today. So honestly, what is the solution to getting control of a chaotic life? Whether you are a caregiver, a parent, maybe you're a spouse caregiver, maybe you're a caregiver and you're a student, you're a caregiver and you're working, or you're a person just trying to manage everything that you have to do in daily life that can feel like super, super impossible. In this video, I'm going to share two processes that I used, two skills that I gained because I needed to be more focused when my mind wanted to go off in a million directions, when there was one distraction and one interruption after another, like so much to do, and I just didn't have the time or the focus to do it. So I'm going to share some tips to help you get control of this chaos that's spinning around in your mind, all these interruptions, your schedule, everything you're trying to manage. If this is your first time here, I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, consultant, and speaker. Please do click below, like this video, follow my channel, comment, just even if it's only to say, hey, thanks for the video. It helps other people find their way here. You can also go over to my website, PamelaDWilson.com. I'll put links below, a lot of helpful information there. So as a caregiver, you probably already realized this, but you've probably already gained a lot of skills from doing things that you never, ever thought you would have to do. Bathing a parent, changing diapers, taking blood pressure, reassuring mom or dad that everything is going to be okay when even you don't think everything is going to be okay. So you have the opportunity to gain more new skills that can help you as a caregiver and in other areas of your life today. So here's the first skill that I learned, and here's why I had to learn it. So let me share the foundation of what I'm about to explain. So I was a professional fiduciary, so court-appointed guardian, conservator, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, personal rep of the estate and trustee. In this role, I had to actually track my work time in 5-minute increments as billable time. So I know many of you are saying, oh, that's ridiculous, that's impossible. Well, who does this? Well, I did it. A lot of other people who work for law offices and consultant practices do this as part of our daily activities. Yeah, it's crazy, but you know what? It takes a special skill. It allows you to do a lot more in less time, and I'll share the benefits of this. So, how do you get there? How do you even start? First of all, you've got to eliminate all this swirling and chaos and madness in your mind, right? So that you can focus on everything that you have to do. So make some time. Tell other people you're not going to be available. Turn off your cell phone. Isolate yourself. Go into a room. Go sit in your car if you have to. Go sit outside where nobody's going to bother you. I don't care where you go. Don't have anybody else around and don't have anything that's going to distract you. First of all, just sit, close your eyes, breathe for a few minutes, relax. Now, if you're a caregiver and you do this, Some of you know what's going to happen. You're probably going to fall asleep because you're so exhausted and oh my God, this is the first break that you've had since you can even remember, right? Well, actually, 10 or 20 minute cat naps can be great energy boosters. But right now, that's not what you're here for. So, relax. Concentrate and take a piece of paper and a pen. Write down everything that you've got going on from a time perspective. So when you think of time perspective, think of sense of urgency. If I don't get this done by Wednesday at 3 o'clock, it's going to be bad. I'm going to miss this deadline. I'm going to cause this problem. It's going to be a problem. Write those down. Then look at the opposite. What is important to you from a relationship and an activity level? Do you need to attend your kid's soccer game or go to a piano recital? Or would you like to have date night with your significant other or your spouse, or maybe go for a walk with your dog, right? If you're a caregiver, you've probably been neglecting this part of your life. How do I know? Because I did it for a long time. Sometimes now I actually still fall into this trap, right? But these things that you like to do, these people that you like to spend time with, those are usually the first things that disappear when you are caring for elderly parents. Then really ponder this one. What do I want for my life? If I could do anything, what would it be? What were those dreams I had that I put aside, that I put on the shelf? Because I'm doing all this caregiving stuff, right? This is the area that usually just totally disappears from my caregiving life. Because caregivers, they do everything for everybody else but themselves. So their needs go to the bottom of the pile, or actually they fall totally off the list. Here's the important thing to know. If you keep taking on more and doing more and going like the Energizer Bunny on the commercial, eventually you're going to break down, you're going to burn out. Now, if you're young and healthy, sure, you can get by with a lot less sleep. I used to do that. It's going to take more time for you to break down, burn out, but eventually it will happen. If you're a caregiver who maybe is a little older, you have your own health problems, you're not paying attention to them, you could get sick, something could happen, and you could burn out more quickly, and then who's going to take care of mom or dad or your spouse? Nobody. So one day, if you keep all this up, you're going to wake up, you're going to look back, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened with my life? I don't know who I am anymore. Caregivers tell me this all the time. Now, if you've sat in a room and you've made this list, look at all the progress you've just made. Amazing. Congratulate yourself. You've made a list of time-sensitive projects, what's important in your relationships that you have been likely ignoring. You've recognized that you may be trading your life and your goals and your hopes and your dreams for all these caregiving tasks. Now, admittedly, some caregivers watching this are going to say, well, Pamela, that's okay. What else would I do? It's what I'm supposed to do. It's a privilege to care for my parents, and I'm happy to do all of this. Well, for those of you who say this, that's great. It's amazing. I'm happy for you that you have mastered all of these skills. This video, it's not for you. It's for the rest of us who have messy lives and struggle to keep up with everything that we have to do, whether it's in caregiving or other parts of our lives. I don't know anybody who has a perfect life. If you do, God bless. So, in the midst of all this chaos, all this swirling around, and being in a quiet room, you have all this information to start with. So the next thing that you want to look at is figuring out if you are overscheduling your time. How do you know? Well, it's a bit of a test and trial error over a few days or at least a week to figure this out. What do? You create a calendar. Take out a calendar, like a calendar. Put a calendar on your phone. Write down a calendar on the days of a piece of paper, Monday through Friday, the hours you're awake, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, right? What are you doing every hour of the day? Yeah, it's going to take some thought. But then, once you write this down and you try to do it and you try to follow that list without going over here or going over there or adding something else to the list, you're going to very quickly learn how disciplined you are or not with your days. And every day you can look at that list and see what you accomplished or not, and how much you have to push over to the next day. Then gets pushed over to the next day and the next day and the next day. The important thing here, though, is to look at the list and figure out what happened. Why didn't you get it done? The answer may be, I underestimated the time. I didn't understand the task. I thought it would be like 3 things, and it was 20 things, and I didn't know how to do like 18 of the 20, so I had to go ask for help. Maybe you had too many interruptions. Maybe you had people coming in your office, or your phone kept ringing, or you kept checking your email. Shut the email down. Or maybe, like a lot of caregivers, there was an emergency call from your parents that diverted your time and attention, and everything else on your list did not get done. Or maybe you allowed yourself to get distracted and you went down a rabbit hole over here and all that time disappeared, and now it's time to go to bed and you got nothing done. When you realize how you spend your time, what you do, who you spend it with, only then can you improve your focus and reduce the chaos in your life and learn and become more disciplined about how you spend your time and who you spend it with. So, how do you do this? The way that I did it, because I had to start documenting my time in 5-minute increments. And my time had to be results. It couldn't be like, I looked out the window for 5 minutes, or I checked my email for 5 minutes, or gosh, I got lost, Googling this or what, right? I had to have actual results for clients. I made a phone call. This was the problem. This was the solution. This was the next step. This was the result. Okay? So there's a little technique out there that you can research. It's well known. It's not a secret. It's called the Pomodoro Technique. Pomodoro. It's called the 25-5 method. For example, I will do one thing for 25 minutes, and then I'll get up from my desk and I'll take a 5-minute walk, or I'll listen to music, or maybe I'll check email for 5 minutes only. And then I come back and I do the next 25 minutes. Now, 25-25 is relative to the tasks you have, your life, and your situation. If you complete one task before the 25 minutes is up, go to the next one on your list, and the next one on your list, and the next one. And if at 25 minutes when your phone rings and tells you 25 minutes is up, if you're in the middle of something that you can finish quickly, finish it. If not, take that break. Time yourself using your cell phone. Make yourself do this for 1 week, 5 days every week, and again, compare this to that list, to your calendar of things you said you would get done. So when I was a professional fiduciary, like I said, monitoring this time in 5-minute increments, this was a great process because I could see where I underestimated my time, maybe where I was allowing people to distract me. My staff were able to use this to acquire the focus skill to avoid internal distractions and external distractions. Again, there's no checking your phone, no checking email, no thinking about this other project, and then you go over here and you forgot what you were doing. You train your brain to say no to distractions, and you sit and you complete a task until you get it done. Or you work around the house and you complete a task until you get it done. And you go shopping and you complete the task, right? Whatever it is, you're completing this task and you're giving yourself 25 minutes to do it, so you're more sensitive about how long it takes to do things. Honestly, if you try this and you commit to it for a week or 2 weeks, you will be shocked at either how inefficient you are or how much you are getting done. You'll be like, dang, I checked off 10 things on my list today. I actually have some time tomorrow for myself. One thing, though, that you may want to get really good at when you're doing this is if you have an office, shut the door. If people want to interrupt you, you can say, I can speak to you in 10 minutes when my alarm goes off, or better yet, why don't we put 25 minutes on the calendar? And I'll give you 25 minutes of my full attention. Just make sure that when you come, you know what you need from me and how I can help you. You have to learn to set boundaries. You have to set gates around your heart and your thoughts and your mind and your time. Because after all, whose time is it? It's your time. Once you begin to learn how much time it takes you to do things, you can eliminate what I call Parkinson's law from your life, which is the other tip here. It's the idea of, I have to get this thing done, but not until 3 days from now or a week from now. So if you remember being back in school and you had a paper due, were you the person who I just want to get it done and get it off my desk? I know it's not due for 2 weeks. Or were you the person who's I have this due Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. I think I can start it Tuesday night at 8 p.m. and I'll get it done, right? So you take all the time in the world to get something done, and you do finish it, right? But it's actually better if you say, hey, I'm going to give myself 25 minutes and that's it, and then I'm moving on. You will be surprised how saying, I have these 10 things to do, by 2 o'clock I'm going to be finished, then I'm going to go to lunch, I'm going to go do a quick workout, then I'm going to come back to work. Doing this, you will amaze yourself. Honestly, you will get those 10 things done by 2 o'clock. So, by using the first technique, Pomodoro Technique, to make efficient use of your time, and then by doing the reverse of Parkinson's law, saying, nope, I only have until 1 o'clock. Nope, I only have until Saturday noon. I'm going to get this done right away. You're going to find way more time in your day, which means that instead of filling up that time with other busy work or other caregiving tasks, you can actually spend time with the people that you love, or go do something that you enjoy. Go fish, go to a football game, hike, call a friend, have lunch, go take a nap, go do something that you really want to do. So I encourage you, make some time right now in your calendar before this video ends to find a quiet place where you can eliminate all the outside chaos. Make that list of what's to be done, schedule a week's projects, find out where you're losing time, and make the choice to schedule, I'm going to get this done by then. I'm going to check it off my list. Because the more skills that you gain in time discipline, in time tracking, and in planning, the more time you're actually going to have in your life. Yes, this exercise is going to take you a bit of time, but look at the time you're going to gain on the other end, okay? These are skills that all caregivers and everybody can use. So thanks for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, speaker, and consultant who answers questions caregivers ask and share skills on my YouTube channel and my website, which is PamelaDWilson.com. Again, I ask you, please do like this video, follow my channel, comment, even if it's only to say thanks. We want other people to be able to find this helpful information, to be able to change their caregiving life, improve their health, make everything in life a lot easier. Thanks for being here. I'll see you all again soon in another video.